Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. No, I did not dye my hair. I have a video coming up where I will show you my DIY Sunday update that focuses on how to add highlights to your hair without bleaching it, without using harsh chemicals on your hair, and without damaging it in any way. So if you're interested in seeing that video, please don't forget to subscribe because you'll get a notification as soon as it goes up, which will be a little bit later today. But yeah, I'm loving this look. It's great, it's easy, it only took 10 minutes to do, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. But in today's video, what I wanted to do was provide some techniques for, especially for my fine-haired sisters who have fine natural hair, as I do, and are looking for ways to get more volume in your hair. For your wash and go styles, twist outs, flexi rod sets, these techniques will pretty much work on any style, and they're just techniques that I have kind of learned along the way that have worked really well for me, and that I hope you guys can take and use and apply as needed for your own natural hair to get the results you're hoping for. When you have fine natural hair, it is a struggle to get volume, and to kind of get that look we all kind of want to look, or have when it comes to our various hairstyles. So again, I hope that this is helpful to you guys, and that you will let me know how each of the steps works for you. And if any of you have any techniques that work well when you're styling your hair, don't forget to leave them in the comment section below so that we can all learn from one another, all right? So I'm gonna jump right into today's video, but don't forget to subscribe, rate, comment. Guys, please comment because your feedback drives this channel. I want to create content that is helpful to you guys. So if I know what you're interested in or what you're having problems with, or what you're thinking about trying or want me to try, it just makes this channel so much more meaningful and helpful to everyone. All right, so let me shut up and get right to the techniques. All right, so the first technique I'm going to use is, I'm going to start out with techniques that worked really well for my hair right after I big chopped. So if you haven't seen it, I did share a video, like it's a 60-second video where I talk about my natural hair journey. I did transition, and I transitioned for 15 months, and then I did a mini big chop. And then I let my hair just kind of grow from there. So I'm going to start out with techniques that worked right after I mini big chopped, and my hair was probably about 4 to 5 inches long, depending upon the top, medium, back. They were all different lengths because I had a nice little shape going on. All right, and I find that some of these techniques work with when your hair is at different stages in its growth journey. Okay, so when my hair was much shorter, one of the things that immediately worked well for me when it came to sort of blending sections and getting rid of parts and stuff like that was what I like to call the scalp massage technique. I'm making these names up because I don't know if there is a technical name for them, but the name kind of reflects exactly what I did. So if I was doing a twist out or even a wash and go style like I'm doing now, what I would do, and I'm going to focus the techniques on this side so you guys can see the comparison between this side and this side, okay? So what I would do is just place my fingers in a given section, fingers on scalp, and then small circular motions. It's important to remember to do small circular motions, because if you do like too large a section, then what happens is you end up with frizz. So small circular motions in a given section. So that's kind of what I would do. Especially when it came to my flexi rod sets, it worked really, really well. And in terms of where I placed my fingers, so if I was doing a wash and go, I didn't really care where I placed my fingers because I wasn't trying to get rid of any parts or anything like that. But if you're trying to get rid of parts because you did a flexi rod set or a braid out or a twist out, then you want to kind of make sure that you keep your fingers in the areas where you're seeing the parts, okay? And then I just go in always either from the top or from the bottom, never right in the middle of the hair like this, because you can actually pull this hair into the scalp, massage, and then when you release your fingers, you'll have frizz on the ends of your hair. So I like to go under that hair and then place it wherever I want that fullness. And then again, small circular motions. And then I just move on to each section, just massaging, and then, just kind of checking each section to make sure that I got rid of, the parts I saw in that section. So right now you can see that this is getting a little bit bigger than this section. So that was one technique I used. Another technique that worked really well for me, and this is more so for wash and go styles, and it is a technique that I still use to this day, is just pulling the hair. Pulling it like in an upward and outward motion. As you can see, this like gives you immediate sort of volume. But what you're doing is you're releasing some of that, those clumped sections. So, the hair just naturally becomes a little bit fuller because the hair isn't stuck together. And that means it's not going to be heavier and being weighed down. I hope that makes sense. When your hair is clumped together, you have all those strands together, so it's going to be a little bit more weighed down anyway. But if you pull it and release those clumped sections, you'll naturally get more fullness at your scalp, which will again give you some of that volume you're looking for. So I don't know if I'm making sense, but yeah, this, and I still do this technique to this day. All right. Another thing I don't necessarily do this technique on wash and goes, but I definitely do it on twist outs, whether it's flat twist out or traditional twist outs, braid outs, and flexi rod sets. It's just using the fingers. Guys, a lot of this you don't need tools, right? You just use your fingers and just lift up from the scalp also. And you can use all these techniques together. All right. You're just kind of lifting, not bringing the fingers all the way out, but just lifting like an inch off the scalp. Helps you to get a bit more volume. So you can see, look at this. You would never know I had fine hair, right? So that's another technique. Now I'm going to move to another technique that I use with a tool. It's probably the only technique I use with a tool. Those of you who've been watching the channel for a while know I do this. But to get rid of those pesky parts, oh my gosh, the technique I use to get rid of those pesky parts, which seem to just pop out from all over the place when you have fine hair, is I like to take a comb like this one that has a single prong on the end. When your hair gets longer, you can use a multi-prong pick, but to me, when my hair was shorter, this was the only pick I used because it didn't create frizz while doing this technique. When I used a pick that had more prongs on it, my hair always came out frizzy. So I use this pick to get rid of pesky parts. And what I do is, here, I'm going to create like a nice parted section here. Okay, so you see I have a little part going here. What I do is I take the prong and I place it right in the midst of that pick, and I go back and forth through those neighboring sections of hair. So the hair that's on this side of the part, on this side of the part, I just like going back and forth probably a ½ inch in that direction and a ½ inch on that direction. Helps to close that part, and it actually lifts the hair as well. So I'm just going to do this all the way down this part so you guys can see how see how that just disappeared? Then you can just take the pick and lift, 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 and lift, and lift. Okay, y'all know I'm silly. All right, but it helps. So now that you've created more volume in that area, you just use that pick to continue to kind of lift it. Another reason I like to use this tool on my hair when it was shorter is that I could be really strategic about where I lift the hair and where I pick out from the root. When you have a multi-pronged pick, whether it's only 3 or whether it has 5 or 8 prongs in it, the more prongs you have, the more you're disrupting the hair. And I find that with fine natural hair, because we already have to do a lot of manipulation to get more volume, it just created more frizz quicker. So when you have this one prick, one prong. I'm not going to even tell y'all what I said. One prong option. It lets you be real strategic about where you lift the hair, so you're not disrupting neighboring hair and disturbing it unnecessarily to create frizz. So yeah, so then you can go on. Shallow like this. I rarely do anything like this to my wash and goes. I just kind of leave my wash and goes as they are. I don't use these techniques on my wash and go at all, except for this one. Y'all see me do this all the time. But I think I may start using some of these techniques from now on. All right, so, oh, I messed this up. It was not as full as this one, just pulling it like that, sorry. Anyway, yeah, so that is actually the last technique. So those are the techniques that worked really, really well for me. Another thing to remember when you're trying to get volume and avoid frizz is that you want to take, it requires a lot of patience. So baby steps, guys, small sections, go slow. Check the section to see if you achieved, getting rid of that part or the fullness you were looking for, and then go to the next section. Because one of the things that would happen is I would just go in, because you see people on YouTube videos, I'm gonna mess with the whole hair now, and you see them just doing like this. We can't do all that because we have to do so much additional manipulation anyway. If we just went in like that, we would still realize that we hadn't reached our goals in terms of getting rid of the parts and getting the volume we needed. So that just doesn't work for us. So focusing on a section at a time, being patient, and kind of mastering your techniques, figuring out which of these techniques works best for your hair and best for specific styles you're rocking will definitely get you guys the results you are seeking. So I hope you found this video to be helpful. I just, learned something myself that I need to start using some of these techniques on my wash and goes. Y'all, this is cute. I like this. I never do this on my wash and goes. Wow. All right, so so I hope you guys found this to be helpful. Please, again, don't forget to subscribe, rate, comment, and share with anyone you think might benefit from this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will definitely see you next time. Bye.